Let me tell you a story about the most remarkable structure in your body, your lower back. It's a story that might just be your own story, and by the end, you'll understand why it hurts, and more importantly, how it heals. Imagine for a moment that your spine is an architectural marvel, and your lower back, what we call the lumbar spine, consists of just 5 vertebrae stacked like smooth river stones, each one perfectly designed to bear the weight of everything above it. These 5 bones, labeled L1 through L5, carry the entire upper body, and they do this job remarkably well for most of your life, supporting forces equivalent to several times your body weight with every step you take. Between each of these vertebrae lies something extraordinary: intervertebral discs, which act like small water balloons filled with a gel-like substance. These discs are about 80% water when you're young, which is why you're actually slightly taller in the morning than you are at night. While you sleep, these discs rehydrate and expand, then gradually compress throughout the day as gravity does its work. This daily rhythm of compression and expansion is completely normal, and your spine expects it. Now, here's something that might surprise you. If you're experiencing low back pain, you're not alone. In fact, you're part of a vast majority. Studies show that approximately 80% of people will experience significant low back pain at some point in their lives. It's so common that researchers consider it almost a universal human experience, like catching a cold or feeling stress before an important event. But here's the really important part of our story, the part that changes everything. Most low back pain, somewhere between 85 to 90% of cases, is what we call non-specific. This means there's no serious underlying disease or structural damage causing it. Your back isn't broken. It's not falling apart. Instead, it's usually responding to strain, tension, changes in movement patterns, or sometimes simply to stress and lifestyle factors. This is actually good news because non-specific back pain responds beautifully to the right kind of care. Think of your lower back as existing within a complex support system. Wrapped around your lumbar spine are layers of muscles. The deep stabilizers close to the bone, like the multifidus muscles, and the larger, more powerful muscles further out, like your erector spinae. These muscles work like guy wires on a tent, constantly making tiny adjustments to keep you stable and upright. When these muscles become weak, fatigued, or develop imbalances, your spine loses some of its support, and that's when pain often begins. Here's a fascinating truth about back pain. It's often not about the moment you bent over to pick up that box or twisted awkwardly getting out of the car. Those moments might be when you finally notice the pain, but the real story usually began weeks or even months earlier. Your back pain is more like the final straw on the camel's back, the accumulation of prolonged sitting, gradual weakening of supporting muscles, repetitive movements, or sustained poor postures that finally reached a tipping point. Understanding this helps us understand why the path to healing isn't about one dramatic fix, but rather a gentle, consistent journey back to strength and balance. Physical therapy works because it addresses this whole story, not just the pain itself. When you begin physical therapy for low back pain, the first thing that happens might surprise you. Often, the goal isn't to immediately fix your back, but rather to help your nervous system calm down. You see, when you're in pain, your brain becomes extra vigilant, sometimes interpreting normal sensations as dangerous. This protective response, while well-intentioned, can actually make muscles tighter and movements more restricted than they need to be. And here's perhaps the most hopeful fact to carry with you as you drift towards sleep. Your back wants to heal. Your body is designed with remarkable self-healing capabilities, and given the right conditions, gentle movement, appropriate strengthening, stress reduction, and time, most people with low back pain experience significant improvement within just a few weeks to months. The spine is resilient, adaptable, and far stronger than you might think when you're in the midst of pain. So rest now, knowing that your back pain, while real and valid, is also part of a story with a hopeful trajectory. One where understanding leads to healing and where small, consistent actions create profound change.